Museum.
Hi everyone, I'm Aaron Liu from Fuzhou. Live across the welcome to our special coverage today.
Hello everyone, I'm Jing. Right now we are in Fuzhou, the capital city of Fujian Province. And as you can just see, Fuzhou has the nickname of the city of ambience. The tree is called the tree of ambient. And today we are right now in their cultural and historic area called...
Yes, you can see behind me is the very long history and beautiful scene. And why we come here? Because it is the main street and the main marketplace in the long history of the Fujian, the capital city, Fuzhou. So why we come here? Because right now it's also the very most marketization areas. So today we'll check it, bring you all of the things that capital, market, and also we can see it's the name and also the Ballet Hills is like the Americans' most richest areas in the long history. So
yes,
right now,
right.
Let's check it out. I know you already visited some places here. Can you recommend some places to the audience?
Well, first, the place is called 3 Lanes and 7 Alleys.
Yeah.
It also has a nickname of the Museum of Architectures from Ming and Qing dynasties. As you can see through our camera.
Yes, we can work and talk about this area. It's a very beautiful place.
The architectures actually stand on this soil for more than 1,000 years.
It's very interesting because this street is formed in the Tang Dynasty and the flourishing is the Song and the Ming and also the Qing. It's very long history because we can see so many celebrities and also as Yan Fu. I think it's a very big name from every Chinese because if we learn English and it's the first generation tell us how to translate from Chinese to English. So the first stop we will bring you to the Yan Fu museums and tell you what kind of the Chinese old celebrities and definition about English and bring English to China.
Yes, and also Mr. Yan Fu is also has the name of Chancellor Yan. So Aaron, would you like to have a guess why Mr. Yan has the name of Chancellor Yan? So, or literally the university president.
Yes.
Yan. So do you know which university?
I think that is very interesting because it's the first generation of the chief and manage all of the university
here we
in
are.
China. So come here is behind me. We can see that.
And our camera can give our audience a look.
Yes, it's a kind of the museum and it shows a different kind of the copies that from Yan Fu.
Okay, let's check it out.
Check it out.
Oh, I think this is the cartoon image of Mr. Yan Fu. It's very cute.
I think the first we can see that is the cartoon image, and around the image I can see some Chinese characters. It's about he lived in about 19th centuries, and almost some words the famous saying about his theories. Like the 物竞天择，适者生存, and it's very famous thing in China, and tell us about the adoption, and people need to adopt it themselves to suit the natural, and also it's the education and also some the translation and translator from English and to Chinese, and also writing a lot of books to introduce the Chinese books to the world. I think that's the inspired us why we learn English and we want to see the world. I think that's we need to watch this and inspect about.
Be careful, be careful.
Yes.
Careful. Okay, we are going to see the story of Mr. Yan Fu.
First, we need to introduce about the cheese. I think it's very long history, and that's I think the whole process of we need to about the time. I think time is the magical. And because we can see that's the long history, about 260 years.
260 years.
Yes.
Wow.
And also the walls is also very long history. So when we work down the whole museums, and we can see a lot of the cheese and different kind of the places witness the Yan Fu's growing up. Because why this place have so many celebrities? Why is the rich people come here?
Yeah, that is a good question. For example, the celebrities include very famous literature like Bing Xing, Lin Huiying, as well as a very famous one, Ling Ming, as you know. Okay,
So,
I think here we are.
So we have these questions about the whole process. We want to find the answers. So today, right now, is introduced about the Yanfu's whole life.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
is
the pictures in young youth.
Okay, let's check out. He is the first person to introduce foreign studies to China.
I think that's the first generation in Qing dynasty. That's the very famous people come to see the world and face the different kind of world, which is totally different in the Qing dynasty. So that's to tell us when the big change revolution come to China, what kind of people lead this revolution, and tell us about what kind of outside of world will be meaning for the young generation.
Okay, this book is a must-know one because I think it's in the memory of all our high school studies.
Yeah.
It is the book of the evolution and ethics. I don't know, our audience will have the memory to read, to memorize this knowledge point in your history classes.
So that's what we can read in the every books for the students because the original name is Evolution and Ethics. And it's written by the British writers and also translated by the Yanfu, and brings brought to the Chinese readers. So that's I think that's the evolution also happening in the thoughts. That tells the Chinese people what happened right now, and we need to change, maybe face the totally different world. And following this is the different kind of the books that's we can read in the. Most of them translated from the British books.
Yes, and here we have the answer. Mr. Yan Fu is the first chancellor of Peking University. Did you guess it right?
So we call it Yan Xiaozhang. That's why we say like this, because he also is the education professor and tell us what kind of bring the systems from the Western world, and that's the education. That's totally different from China's system, education system.
And here we have a sculpture of Mr. Yan Fu holding a brush. Okay, wow. The first chancellor of Peking University.
Yes. Talk about the writing. I think we can move to another section about these museums because all of the copies from the Yanfu, and
actually they're not copies.
Yes,
they are the original work. Yeah, they are the original work of Mr. Yanfu.
So let's check it out. Maybe it's amazing because
careful.
It's totally different from the. So that's why the museum is called Yanfu 墨馆. Han Mo Guan.
Han Mo Guan, right? Okay. All these works are original production of Mr. Yan Fu. Oh, and also one thing, though I don't know all of them, but I think this one is worth introducing to our audience. I think all of our audience will have memorized this article. 永和9年岁在癸丑暮春之初. Is it very familiar? So this work is an original work of Mr. Yan Fu, and to better produce this piece, Mr. Yan Fu has written this piece for like more than 800 times.
So that's from the Yanfu and original piece, right? I think it's very beautiful Chinese characters we can show to the audience.
Show to the audience, have a close look. This also demonstrates practice makes perfect.
So I think we can, when we read this kind of the piece, and that's also inspired us. What kind of characters would be like? And we can imagine the first generation of the chef for the university.
Okay, I think that's it. And also, would you like to show our audience, because this huge tree of more than 260 years was originally from a very small flower pot, and we can see some relics right here.
Yes, in south of China, people, especially the celebrities, they want to plant in so huge amount of the small plant
Here
in the
we
yard.
have-
After maybe 1 century, the small plant becomes so huge, and we can show that it's also 榕树.
Yeah, it's also
And-
ambient. And also here we can see the pieces of the original flower pot. So this huge tree was grown from like maybe this big, from a small flower pot to this big.
Yeah. That's
Marvelous.
amazing because all of things tell us the magic about the time.
Yeah, and the power of life.
Yeah. I think this museum and also this 3 lanes and 7 alleys shows a very interesting points. It's about the connections. It's from the classical cultures to the very interesting to modern culture connections to
Yes,
introduce
right.
to the young generations. You can see those so many young people come here to enjoy this Chinese classical culture, and I think this is the example because we can show it's totally different elements, like the language and also the
您好。
maritime.
So this is a souvenir store, and also they have some cultural productions of Mr. Yan Fu. I think this is a quite very creative one because we can preserve better the cultural with
Yes.
these stuffs.
We can see the books and also the language together as the wall. We can see the like the local language in the Fujian 闽南语.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want to try learn some of the new languages?
They also show the meaning, but we can try to read it. Do you want to try which one?
I want to try this one. 超厉害. May I ask? 您好，您是福州人是吗？您可以教我们几句这个福州话？您可以教我们几句吗？我想学这个超厉害。
超厉害就是鸭把，
呀，你给我来一句。
鸭把，
鸭把啊，就是这样哈。OK，那我学一下鸭把，超厉害的意思。Which one would you like to pick, Aaron?
I noticed a lot of the 鸭 coming here. 鸭甩、鸭崩锐、鸭秀撒就很多. It's a lot of the
What is it? 这个
announcement is
鸭是
from
狠
Ya.
的意思，是狠的意思是吗？啊，OK。
Oh, I think yummy maybe come from here.
Yeah, this one yummy, but in Fuzhou, it
Yummy,
means very
it means beautiful. It's not the delicious.
虎州 means
Yes,
福州。
yes. So we can learn the new words that's yummy. It's different meanings. It's very beautiful here.
Interesting. OK，
Thank you.
谢谢。好，小心哦。OK, now let's head to our second stop.
I think the name is also very interesting. It's about the Chancellor's Yan story. 严校长的故事.
Yes. OK. Be careful of the steps. 小心，小心。Or maybe you can show us the streets
Yes.
of this historical area. 可以给大家看一下这个街景，您就可以正着走两步。
It's the Monday night, but also we can see a large amount of the visitors come here.
Yeah.
It's the very popular in Fuzhou. When you come here, you can maybe different kind of elements, conflicts, collects in the one areas.
I noticed the architectures has a combination of wood material and stone and bricks, right?
We know that's formed in Tang Dynasty. Maybe it's when we come here, it's like living in Tang Dynasties.
Yes, you're right. So
It's very beautiful Chinese, different kind of the elements. You can see that the architecture, and also the shanzi.
careful. Yes, it's getting crowded here. I think both tourists and also local people, they want to take a walk and have a rest after work. And this place can not only provide you very delicious food and also has some beautiful and interesting places to visit. So
And
next stop-
another very interesting thing is about the collects most of the intangible heritage culture come here. It's I think when you come here, there's the thing that is the one 三享七放 is the half of China's history because it collects Tang, Qing, Yuan, also
I
another
think
generation.
This is
stuff.
one of the alley
Yes.
Because altogether we have 7 alleys. This one is called Guanxiang. It's one of the alleys. I think it's pretty much like the wontons in Beijing.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
后南街, right?
后南街 is
后
this
南
main
街 is
street.
the main street. That collects all of the 三坊七巷. Yes, that's which is the 3 lanes, 3 7 alleys. That's quite different. And also, you can see a lot of people live here. It's the living places, not like the maybe other places that is just we can just watch. And now people live here. So that's another very important thing.
I think this kind of neighborhood system is quite well organized.
Yeah.
On my left-hand side, they have the 3 lanes. And also on my right hand, we have the 7 alleys.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, we are going to see a non-physical, I think is it a non-physical heritage?
We can check it out. Maybe we can when we wrap
Oh,
it here
I
and
know.
ask the boss.
Another question. What is the flower of the city of Fuzhou?
I'm not sure. You can tell us about
Okay,
it.
I'll give you some choices.
Oh, maybe I can guess it's about the. Yes, because this climate and this very unique flower.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the flower, I can give you some hints. The flower is not very big and it's white. It's very, very, you must like the fragrance.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, here we are. The answer is jasmine.
用茉莉花茶。
Jasmine is the flower of the city of Fuzhou. Okay, we're going to check out. Oh, here we can see these are the flower of jasmine. 您好，
您现在是在做什么呀？
手串，茉莉花手串，
啊，茉莉花手
哎
串，这个是要做什么的？
就是戴在手上。
然后是有什么好像的？
怎么了？
它可以安
喂
神、驱蚊、健脾。
Okay, so the lady is making a bracelet of jasmine, so you can put the jasmine on your around your hand, so it can.
I can smell it because it's very so
Yeah.
sweet. I think it smells it.
Yeah. Okay, let's check it out inside.
We know that the flowers is because of the climate and the rainfall, and that's make the produce the top 1 in China. So that's why it's so important for Fujian and Fuzhou. Welcome here, you can smell all of
Smells
this.
so good.
Yes, surround us. And this also kind of the museum that's introduced about how we make the flowers tea.
Okay, this is the picture of
Yes, that's some words
the
from
literature Bingxing.
from Bingxing's books
definition.
that described about the why we want to eat and also the drink the flower tea.
Okay.
That's became the memories about the local people around the world.
Okay. Be careful. Careful. 下面有这个. Oh. I think these shows the process of how to.
When we pick up the flowers, the first step maybe is to put into some climate and temperatures, make the keep the fresh literature.
新鲜茉莉花苞经过拌合、茶花分离、烘焙，做完这样一次工艺流程。
These are above my knowledge, so I think maybe we should find some person to tell us what are these are for. Let me check. 老板，老板您在吗？
I think that is the long history about the how to make the flowers. We can just read the pictures above on the wall.
老板，老板，我们马上就到这边哦。对。
Because it's the most beautiful careers, I think, make the tea, and also the smell is very special. So when we come here, we can see a lot of celebrities come here, and they tell us why it is so important, and also becomes it's the national tea, I think.
This one is very cute. I want the boss to introduce this to us. These miniatures, I think it shows the process of how to prepare the tea from the very beginning. Maybe we'll leave this part for the boss.
I think that
See, they're
that's divided into 3 or 8 process.
The farmers, they're picking the tea, the flower tea,
Yeah.
and then gradually. Maybe we can ask our boss.
Yes,
to
the
introduce
jasmine
to us.
buds are picked in the morning, and also the unfold
老板
during
你
the
好
afternoon.
我看到您店里面这个好有趣啊！这个是茶的这个制作过程吗？
这边是两个大工序，一个是这个是采汁商业，
Okay, picking up the tea.
对，这个采下来的初步的晾干，就是
OK
把表面的水分给它去掉，就是晾青。
To dry the tea leaves.
晾青呢，它晾到一定温度呢，它茶叶还有柔韧性，它去摇，摇到
OK
把它那个条形条索给它摇出来。比
Okay.
如说呢，要它的圆的，还是要扁的呀，要长条的，要细条。
Okay, to shake to
这边
pick
摇出来。
the better ones.
大概起来摇下来，摇下来这边在第二次呢，就把它的形状初步的形状给它再深加工，再给它做出来。定那个是初步的摇过它有个准起来，准边准起来。
Okay.
然后这个就是长条形的，跟它传统的就用着手工。
It's rubbing the tea. Okay.
这个就是炒青，就是定型，就把它给它刹住，不能让它再变化了。就是炒，就浓紧，
Okay.
就是炒，炒了它压扁了，压圆了，完了就它这一道工序跟它定下来。
Okay. Stir the tea leaves.
定完了它就上热，
Okay.
上热就是把表面的热气给它上掉，上掉茶叶，让它就保持那种我们要的那种状态。
Okay. To cool the tea leaves down.
上来完了还要再进一步的炒，因为这个是表面的上完了，然后进一步再给它烘透了，烘透了用于以后的长时间的保管。
Okay.
包括这个就是简单的一个我们茉莉花茶的原料茶的出制过程。
Okay.
这只是到这里。
Perfect.
我们茉莉花茶还有一个大工序在那边，现在就花跟茶如何放到一起，可以过来看一下。
好，您给我们展示一下。给我们展示一下。哇，太香了。
对，这是干花。
Okay. These are already dry
对
flowers.
这个才是最漂亮的。
所以老板，这个是早上采完之后，下午来做的这个。
对，看到了吧
？Sweet pure。
好香啊！
灯帮我弄上。哎呀。
您每
所以这个是早上采完之后，下午过来做这个是吧？晚上就得出来。
我们这个是专门自己的基地啊，这一般的是3点以后开始采。
3点以后采。
OK。
那您怎么保持它当天就要所有的都制作完成是吧？保持它的新鲜度。
这个是这样子，现在这个是养花的工序。
养花的工序。
养花就是把花跟它养到最好的状态。
哦，养花。
养花。
养花。
现在我们这个已经经过初步的一个筛选了，把那个我们不要的、不能开的，大概其不能开的都跟它分选出来。
哦。
这样。养花。
So the pick up in the afternoon and right now is the making the flower.
养花呢有几个要点，一个呢，你看，因为它离开它的母体以后啊，它就靠这么一点啊，跟它输送营养成分。所以说如何要保证它又要开放，又要不能失掉水分。因为我们它是一般的茉莉花是晚上大概10点到11点都会开。开的时候就开放到最好的状态的时候，我们跟它茶，刚才说的茶做好了。
茶做好了。
再跟它放在一起。
我只听见了这一句，茶做好了。
再跟它放在一起。花做好了，茶做好了，跟它放在一起。
所以是会搭配绿茶和茉莉花在一起吗？还有其他的茶？
理论上我们传统的都是用绿茶。
用绿茶。
对。
So mix the green tea and the flower together, and I think that's the taste special.
我们晚上会开的，像这个就有点开了。
这已经开了，它是晚上11点左右全部开是吧？
微微的开。
哦。
这样，那这个就有点微微的开了。
哦。
它晚上会开到这种状态。
哦。
我们这样
开完之后呢？开完之后咱们就是
开完了，它香味是最香的。
香味是最香的。
我们摘的时候不能摘开的。
摘开的不行啊，开了它香味流失掉了，就没什么用处了。我们就是要它最好的时候状态，我们是完美的邂逅。最好的花，最好的茶，我们人工就把它放在一起。
OK。
然后放在一起，然后它晚上还会发热。放在茶叶它会，我们因为为什么要做茶？目的就为了改造茶的味道，让它更适合我们的好喝、好看、好闻。我要甘香全美。
好看好闻我们都体验过了，好喝我们能感受一下吗？
我们感受一下。这个是可以看一下，这个是茶的一个制作过程。
好，谢谢。刚刚正好我们在那边就听您介绍过了。
这边出去喝喝一下。这是我们根据，因为这是林徽因的旧居
哦，
我们根据林徽因的旧居最美的出境，搞了一个中国第一个茶文创品牌。我们在这个图画的12生姜小罐茶可以这边品鉴，在这边
谢谢我们。
这边可以品鉴一下。
好。
来这边品鉴一下。请坐。
谢谢。
We can also see some of the areas that's very special, interesting. We can take a look around the areas. Let me show you some. After the flowers has mixed into the tea, and we can see the whole process then being packaged to the market. And we can also notice the whole architecture is very special because it also come from the celebrities very famous from Lin Huiyin.
他先。
When we come back to the street, one feeling is about immerse experience because not just the tea, we can also the architecture and the history. All of the elements come here together. Welcome to Sanfang Qixiao. You can come here because it's the most famous flowers in the Fuzhou, and it's the museum's capital and also cultural capital. Maybe you can try it. I tried it before because it's the flower teas maybe like the sweet and pure and some original. That's the most local tea cultures compared with other areas. And also we can see some products from some areas like the Fujian Taiwan, Baodao Zhilian, because it's so close to Taiwan, and when you come here you can also enjoy the food maybe come from the other areas. Here's another lane, Anminxiang. When we walk across the lanes, maybe we can meet some very famous people, their house and residence. I come to Fuzhou for several days, and I think that's totally different from the north of China cities because there are so many delicious food, and makes me very special memories about the 肉燕 dumplings, and also tried it before, and that's the pork, that's also the wrappers made of the pork. And 50%, I talk about the 肉燕, is the pork, is the wrappers also made of the pork, and it's very intuitive because we already recorded it before and tried it before. That makes me very impressed me, and I think that we should introduce about the all audience. And a very long history, right? It's about 160 years, 40 years history. In Qing dynasty, the stores already open in the street, the same place for over 100 years. I think it's very great witness.
Okay, so next up, maybe are we heading for the Hongyi?
Okay, let's take a look and just see it how these things can you introduce about them because you already have
the pork wonton?
Another place and maybe some areas, some places we should just introduce to the
Okay,
audience.
so you want to leave the pork wonton
Yeah.
to the last? And
Yeah.
another place is also another one, another non-physical cultural heritage.
Yeah.
It's called the fish ball. It's also a very famous brand. The fish ball, let me see, where is it?
So we already come to Fuzhou several days. What's your most impressed things for you? I know you come here maybe several years, right?
No,
ago.
this is my first time.
Oh, it's the first
my
time.
First time to come to Fuzhou. I think first one is very hot. Does that count?
I think this year's most of the areas are hit records.
Okay.
Like the children screaming about this area, maybe it's too hot.
Okay. Is there a show coming?
可能就是确实一开始他说
I think the whole street is like a museum of different architecture.
Yes, that's the whole area. Is the in the 4th centuries is the main marketplace in the city. But right now it's still the most marketized about areas for now. So that's the example of the China's how to protect the long history and their own architecture, their history. I think that's the example. When you want to see the old buildings and old cultures, old food, you come here to join us to feeling all of these elements.
And also because the 3 lanes and 7 alleys, it right sits in the downtown area of Fuzhou. So it can be very convenient for you, no matter it is about the transport or if you want to dine from some place to dine. It also has some shopping malls.
Yeah.
Okay, I think here we are at the front door. Do you want to check in now or we can put it later?
We already recorded some more specific some things. I think that's the small gift for the audience when we after the live cross.
You want to save the better to
Yes,
the end.
yes. Do you have anything about special things to introduce to the audience here?
I think maybe we can try the meatball,
Yeah.
like I just mentioned.
And also that's the mission to the audience. Welcome here. We introduce to you. You can maybe find it yourself. Come here. And the last about the live cross is about our try how to make the
Here we are.
dumplings.
This
Yes.
is also one of the old brands. It is called Yonghe and we can check it out inside. Do you want to?
Yeah. Maybe next time we can
next
try it
time?
and to tell more specific
Okay.
how to make
Show
it
you
because
the
very special because the made for the pork inside and the outside is the fish
Fish,
fish
yes.
meat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you're right.
And that's the examples of the kind of the Fuzhou's food, and maybe you can try here because they're really delicious and really hot and really popular. So the last part of the live course we show you is about the recorded earlier. We tried how to make it. It's the very challenge, but you can try it. It's the first time. Please take a look.
砧板，锤锤要见砧板，
要用你的
腕力呀、
腕力。
还要用你的腰力，站好了。
站好的弓箭步才能
对，这是
用力呀、
我们的打肉燕功夫。
所以这个要持续多长时间了？
Okay, so according to our boss, we can only use one side of the hammer to beat the meat. Okay, the hammer is made of the wood of lychee trees. So I was wondering if the meat will be sweet because the wood is made of lychee. Okay, I think I need to have very strong muscle to use this hammer. 这个我可能一个手就拿不动。
对，如果你的力量不够，它的肉就会粘连在锤子上，你就会越来越重，越来越重。
Okay, so I think I would not be a good person to make this kind of stuff.
员工他是拿了一打的皮在手上，1秒钟一个，1秒钟
1秒钟一个。Okay, so the very skillful workers, they can make this kind of pork swallow or the pork wonton just in 1 second.
可以下锅了，就煮你们包的。
说我们这个是吧？
自己包的，自己煮，自己吃。
自己吃。
肉燕好啦。
哇，谢谢老板
我去。给你们拿勺子啊。
Thank you。所以这个也是咱们自己店里研发。
谢谢。
So that's the living cultural heritage. Join us to Fuzhou and try it. Cheers.